All right, it's going.
Is it on?
It's on.
Is it blinking?
Is the red light blinking? All right, sweet.
Hey, my name is Jenna. I am a skier, biker, and outdoor enthusiast. I don't know. I live in Salt Lake. I'm originally from the East Coast, and I care a lot about mental health and mental health advocacy and suicide prevention and just kind of open conversations about depression and mental health in general.
So, Jenna, you do a really cool thing at Snowbird every year on Valentine's Day. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so my favorite part of the year is Valentine's Day for multiple reasons. One, I think it is the cutest and most adorable holiday. But additionally, the past couple years, I have worked really hard to create this skiathon fundraiser where all of the proceeds go to the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, the Utah chapter. And so the whole idea of it was, it really just started with a lot of people complaining about Valentine's Day and saying how much they hated the holiday. It was a Hallmark holiday. They, you know, felt lonely and shit like that. And so my first thought was like, okay, how can I get involved and maybe make this holiday better for everyone in general? And so that started with kind of just making little treats and gifts for people on Valentine's Day. And then 3 years ago, it evolved into a skiathon fundraiser where basically I ski as many laps as I possibly can in one day, and people donate based on the amount of laps that I do. So if you say $1 or $2 and I ski 15 runs, you multiply 15 runs by your dollar amount, and there we go. And the past 2 years, we've collected nearly $10,000 that have all gone to AFSP Utah, and it's super fun. We just spend the day lapping, having fun, talking to our friends, checking in with people, and just kind of making the conversation a lot easier to approach for everyone.
Absolutely, and love what you're doing there. Got a question for you. So,
yeah.
How does skiing and the outdoors, or just outdoor sports in general, impact your mental health?
To be completely transparent, I would say it impacts my mental health in both a really positive and sometimes a really negative way. I think within the outdoor space, there can be a lot of exclusivity and there can be a lot of like pressure that we put on ourselves. And so I've definitely faced a lot of issues with that, you know, come from within and outside. And so I think when we're in the outdoor space and we're kind of recreating for others, that's when you start to see that kind of negative impact. But I think once you're able to come around to just like enjoying the outdoors specifically for yourself and doing what like is true to you, that's when it impacts it really positively. Because Absolutely. I know like as soon as I start to like feel really dark, twisty, that kind of feeling, if I go out for like a solo tour somewhere mellow, just like really take the time to be immersed in nature and like not care about like what I'm posting, not care about the line that I'm skiing, just being out there to genuinely be out there.
Absolutely.
I think that's when you reap the most benefits, for sure.
Totally. I 100% agree. I know it's something that I feel like is like can be really good for people. Like, you know, getting outside and exercising is, you know, very, very healthy, but
it's a balance.
Like, it can be a balance, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you know, everything in moderation, including moderation.
Yes, exactly.
All right. What are your 3 favorite things you do to help with your mental health?
My top 3, my top one is actually really easy. It's going to be watching the sunrise every single day.
Love seeing those. Yep.
It's really important to me specifically because when I was really going through my darkest period, which lasted quite a few years, the biggest struggle for me was getting out of bed. And so the whole idea now is that if I can get my feet on the ground, literally physically on the ground, out of bed, like I've already kind of made it past the hardest hurdle. And so when I made this goal back at the end of 2023, the whole idea was, okay, in order to watch the sunrise, you got to get out of bed. And so I just started doing it every day as a way to challenge myself and as a way to like kind of reward myself for getting out of bed. And so I think that has been truly the most helpful, because for me it was the hardest hurdle, and I know a lot of other people who have dealt with like depression and suicidality, like that's also a struggle for them. So just getting past that first hurdle and then getting to see something as stunning and beautiful as the sunrise, especially with how lucky we are here in the Wasatch.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's some fucking fire sunrises.
Yes.
It just kind of, it starts your day right. So that is absolutely my number 1. My number 2 is therapy. You know, especially in sports, everyone's like, oh, you're just skiing really hard, you don't need therapy. That's false. Therapy is literally for everyone. It's the best thing for everyone. You need a professional who knows how to like handle some of these really dark topics, because things can slide out of control without even really realizing it. So
Absolutely.
my number 2 is therapy. And then my number 3 would just be really caring about the people around you, and specifically picking the people that you surround yourself with, because I think you are your healthy habits, and surrounding yourself with people that you love, that love you, not kind of giving into the whole like popularity shit, and just surrounding yourself with genuine caring people that you can rely on. I'd say those are my top 3: sunrises, therapy, and the people you surround yourself with.
All right. Hell yeah. All right. So if you had any advice for your younger self, what would you say?
Ooh, that one's hard, because I think sometimes when you're really, really in it, like dark, full suicide mentality, it's hard to hear anything. It's hard to hear any advice. And I think my younger self, I really struggled with that. And so I think if I had to give myself any piece of advice, it would be something along the lines of no matter how much you can't see a light in front of you, there will eventually be one. Like, no matter how dark it is, no matter how hard it is to see, like the dark is going to end, and it's gonna end faster the harder you work. And you know, that's not to belittle anyone who's going through depression telling you to work harder by any means, but it's more supposed to be hopeful in the sense that like if you do the work, even if you don't feel better after a week or 2 or a month, you know, like it's gonna take some time. I'll be realistic about that, but you will get there. I mean, I'm 6 years past my last attempt, and I absolutely never could have foreseen the future that I'm living in now. Where I am incredibly lucky and grateful to be alive, to have the partner that I have in my life, to have the friends that I have in my life. Like I never would have seen any of that, and all I saw back in those days was just darkness in front of me. And so my advice would be, even if all you see is dark, keep working, because you will eventually get to a lighter spot for sure. It's gonna take a while, but it'll be there. It'll get there, and it'll, as cliche as it is, it'll really fucking be worth it. There is going to be something else that you can turn into something good. It just takes hard work, effort, caring. You know, it's not gonna come easy, but the work is definitely worth it. So yeah, there's a lot in front of you that is really hard to see, and it's not really made clear for some time, but I think once you do get a glimpse of it, once you get to kind of see like what feeling good feels like, it's definitely really worth it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you could have everybody walk away from this video with one piece of advice or one thing, what would that thing be?
I would have never gotten to see the life that I have now if things had worked out in my favor at the time. And yeah, no matter how dark it is, like there's gonna be something. Yeah, I don't know. I think my biggest takeaway is just that no matter how bad and how dark things get, you can always come back from it. There's nothing you can't come back from, and it's always gonna be worth it in the end. So